The most common mistakes we see in Social Security planning, what they are and how you can avoid them. This is the second video in a series of 4 on the mistakes that we see most often when people are collecting Social Security or they're about to collect Social Security. Number one mistake, the first video that we covered, is thinking that Social Security is going away, rushing down to the office and saying, well, the system's going to run out of money. Therefore, I need to get a check as quickly as possible. Today, we're going to be covering claiming too early and what that means and why that might be a mistake for your situation. The third video will be on divorcees, widows, and widowers. And then finally, for people who are collecting Social Security, there could be reductions in taxation that you might want to avoid. All right, so basic rules of Social Security. If you wanted a quick snapshot of what you should think about when planning for Social Security, kind of the cliff notes, if you will. Number one, if you need the money to pay bills and it's available to you, take the money. If you got to keep the lights on, you got to keep food on the table, and Social Security is available to you, take the money. Don't need to worry about any more complicated strategies. Seek to maximize the highest benefit available to you. Many of you will have multiple benefits available to you. It might be on your own work history, it might be a spousal benefit. If you had were married and a spouse passed away or an ex-spouse had passed away, you might have a survivor benefit. For children, if you have younger children in your household, there might be dependent benefits. So seek to understand what benefits are available to you. Look at the highest benefit and figure out how to maximize that in time. Consider delaying as long as possible. We'll cover that today. If you collect Social Security prior to your full retirement age, and we'll talk about that, your Social Security full retirement age, if you collect any benefit prior to that age and you continue to work, there could be a reduction. So think about the timing of when you want to stop working and when you want to collect your Social Security. Most importantly, be informed. Understand Social Security before you make a decision. It's an incredibly complicated program. We'll help you understand a little bit of it in this video series. So what happens if you claim early? Well, it might be helpful to understand what number they're doing their calculations on, because you hear about this all the time. You say, well, your benefit might be reduced. Your benefit might be increased if you wait longer. What benefit are they talking about? So this is the updated Social Security statement. And if you look at the number that you are expected to get, that they are projecting you will get at your full retirement age, and this is based on your birth year, and I'm going to show you that here in a second, that is called your primary insurance amount. That's probably the most important number in all of Social Security. That's what they're doing all their calculations off of. So when you hear somebody say, well, my benefit's going to be reduced, or if I wait longer, it's going to be increased, what benefit are they talking about? They're talking about this number. It is the number that you would get at your full retirement age, called primary insurance amount. It's what they do all the calculations on. So when I'm talking about reductions in the next few minutes, it's off of the primary insurance amount, what you would get at your full retirement age. And it's on your Social Security statement. I would highly encourage you to get a My Social Security account. Go into ssa.gov, right on the front page says My Social Security. You can sign up. They'll ask you some identifying questions, and then you will be able to see this statement and your numbers. I also find it kind of interesting that on the second page of your statement in the lower left, it shows you how much money you have put into the system and how much your employer has put into the system. And for many of you, it will probably be a shockingly high number. So there's a lot of money here. A lot of money that you've put in, your employer has put in. If you're self-employed, you put a ton of money, the whole 12.4%, 6.2% of your wages, plus just 6.2% of your wages in 2022, up to 147,000. 6.2 from you, 6.2 from the employer, 12.4 if you're self-employed. So you put a lot of money in the system. You owe it to yourself to understand how it works, and so that you can get the most out of Social Security for what you put into it. So just kind of an interesting side note on the Social Security statement. Again, My Social Security account, get that through ssa.gov. All right, so here are the full retirement ages. Again, we're looking at that primary insurance amount. So what is your full retirement age? What is the number, the age that they're looking at? Well, if you're born from 1943 to 54, your full retirement age is 66. So if you're born in those years, your primary insurance amount is what you'd be projected to get at the age of 66. And then from 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, they increase full retirement age by a few months. And then everybody born in 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. So that is the primary insurance amount, what you would get at your full retirement age based on your birth year. All right, and here's how it works. If you collect an early Social Security benefit before your defined full retirement age, there's going to be a reduction. So for those of you born from 1943 to 54, if you collect at 62, you're only going to get 75% of that primary insurance amount. Your spouse, if they were to collect at 62, would only get 35% of your primary insurance amount. And then every month that you wait, I'm going to show you that. Every month that you wait, your benefit increases a little bit until you turn 66. And again, this is for those born from 43 to 54. At the age of 66, you get 100% of your primary insurance amount. So if you're looking at this from 62 to 66, that's 4 years. Now, if you're born at 1960 or later, you can collect an early retirement benefit as early as the age of 62, or an early spousal benefit as early as the age of 62. But there's a longer time frame between 62 and your full retirement age. It's 5 years instead of 4 years. And so look what happens here. If your full retirement age, you're born 1960 or later, is 67, there's 5 years of reductions there. So you're only going to get 70% of your primary insurance amount. And if your spouse collects at the age of 62, they're only going to get 32.5%. And then every month that you wait from 62 through the age of 70, your benefit's going to increase a little bit. So many people that had talked to friends or family that collected at the age of 62 and they got 75% of their benefit, many people believe right now, if you're born in 1960 or later, you go in at 62, you get 75% of your benefit. You don't. If you're born in those years and your full retirement age is 67 and you collect at 62, you're only getting 70% because there's a longer time period for the reductions. Well, what if you wait to collect your Social Security? Well, if you're born from 1943 to 54 and your full retirement age is 67, you get 100% of your number. That's your primary insurance amount. If you wait till 67, you get 108%. If you wait till 68, you get 116. So this is an 8% simple increase. 69, you get 124%. And at the age of 70, you get 132% of that primary insurance amount for the rest of your life. What if we wait till the age of 71? Well, if you wait till the age of 71, you're only going to get 132%. There are no longer what are called delayed retirement credits. You get credit for delaying your Social Security check beyond your full retirement age. If you wait beyond the age of 70, it stops increasing. Several years ago at a seminar, a gentleman in Buffalo, New York came up to me and said, "Hey, Brian, that was great. I am 74 years old. Can you imagine how big my Social Security benefit is going to be?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I know exactly how big it's going to be. It didn't grow after the age of 70. So he waited an extra 4 years. He was not getting any back pay on that. Potentially he could get 6 months back pay, but he certainly wasn't getting 4 years of additional. So it doesn't grow beyond the age of 70. Now, if your full retirement age is 67, you get 100%. At the age of 67, you get 108%. At 68, 116. At 69, and at the age of 70, you get 124% of that primary insurance amount. Doesn't grow after the age of 70. And if you're born from 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. The highest benefit you're going to get on your retirement benefit is going to be 124% because you only have 3 years of that 8% delayed retirement credit. Here's how the math actually works. Let's say your full retirement age is 67. You're born in 1960 or later. So from the age of 67 down to the age of 64, for every month that you collect prior to full retirement age in that time frame from the age of 67 to the age of 64, the reduction is 0.56 per month or 6.7% per year. And then from your age of 64 to your age of 62, for every month that you're collecting earlier, the reduction is 0.42%. So if your full retirement age is 67 and you collect at 62, if you do that quick math, that's a 30% reduction. So it's reduced a little bit more aggressively from 3 years prior to your full retirement age. In this example, from 64 to 67, there's a little bit more of a reduction. And then from 64 to 62, there's a little bit less of a reduction. That's how they come up with the 30%. that you would get at the age of 62 if you collected early. For the delayed retirement credits, it's 0.67% per month. So if you're the age of 67, that's your full retirement age. If you wait for 67 in 1 month, you get an extra 0.67%. And then that keeps going up every month. So you can collect on any given month after your eligible age, which for retirement benefits is the age of 62. So every month that you wait, they're actually calculating. You don't need to wait from 62 to full retirement, then full retirement to the age of 70. And remember, what they're looking at, they're going to look at the primary insurance amount of who you want to collect on, and then they're going to look at your age. So for example, if I wanted to collect a Social Security benefit on my spouse, if I want to get a spousal benefit from her, they would look at her original primary insurance amount, not what she's collecting, her original primary insurance amount, and then my age. So they would look at what her PIA was, what she could have got at full retirement, not what she's collecting right now. And then they're going to look at my age and do their reductions accordingly. All right, here are the spousal benefits. You've got to be married for at least 1 year to qualify for spousal benefits. The maximum a spouse would get is 50% of the primary insurance amount of their spouse if you collected at full retirement age. So if I was collecting off of my wife, I would have to wait till the age of 67 to get the full 50% of her primary insurance amount. They would start with her PIA. They would take 50% of that. If I decided to collect at 62, they would do their reductions accordingly. And I'm going to show you there's a little minefield in there. Again, it is reduced if you collect prior to your own full retirement age. This next point, the fourth point, is emphasizing that it doesn't matter what the spouse is collecting, they're going back to that original primary insurance amount. Spousal benefits do not get the delayed retirement credits. So in my example, the most I would ever get is at my full retirement age of 67, I would get 50% of my wife's benefit. If I waited till 68, 69, 70, it would still just be 50% if I was collecting a spousal benefit. The retirement credits are only on your own retirement benefit. A little bit unique, but if you're born between January 2nd, 1954 and earlier, you have a little bit more flexibility. Don't see a ton of people who are at that age and haven't collected. Also, there are potentially children's benefits. So this would be for a spouse could collect caretaker benefits, if you will, if they are in the care of children that are 16 or younger. The child themselves can get benefits potentially up to the age of 18 or 19 if they're still in high school. So there are children benefits out there. If you're caring for children that are 16 years or younger, the child and the caretaker spouse could potentially get benefits. Here's how the spousal benefits go. Remember that chart I had showed you. So let's say my full retirement age is 67. From 67 down to the age of 64, 3 years prior to my full retirement age, every month that I collect prior to that full retirement age, the reduction for spousal benefits is 0.69%. So that's actually a little bit higher than what the reduction was on the regular retirement benefits. And then from, in my example, full retirement age of 67, from 64 down to 62, the reduction is 0.42. So just know that spousal benefits are reduced at a little bit more of an aggressive rate than other benefits. Most importantly, you don't get anything out of Social Security unless you go ask for it. Social Security is not in the business of sending you a birthday card on your 62nd birthday and say, oh, benefits might be available to you. Oh, now you're full retirement age, you haven't collected, please come see us. You got to know what's available to you, when it's available to you, and you got to go specifically ask for it. We incorporate all of this into our DREAM financial planning process. DREAM stands for the D is discover. We learn more about you and what you want to accomplish, what you got going on now, and we begin those projections of how close you will be to accomplishing what you would like to in your financial life and your life overall. Reduce stress. This is very important to us. Everybody's got money stress. If you got too much money, you're worried the government's going to take it off. You don't have enough money, you want more money. We reduce stress through education, things like this. Understand what is available to you. Understand how these things work, and then make great informed decisions that are the best for you. Expectations is the E in the DREAM. what you expect of us and what we expect of you. We outline those very clearly in the beginning so that there's no frustration along the way. And then there's the action steps. Once we go through the planning, these are the things that we think make the most sense for you, and we decide on those together. And then the M in the dream process is move forward. That is monitoring the action steps and making sure that we rediscover where you're at in your life, reducing your stress all along the way, that we're in line with expectations. And then we continue to adjust those action steps and are moving forward. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about your situation specifically, give us a call. We are at 833 HPK plan, 833 HPK plan.